Hi, hello, greetings to everyone. This is Habib. My channel Physics Magic by Habib. Please watch and subscribe. So I have started a new trend, that is important formula list. I am explaining lesson by lesson, which is going to help you a lot in your NEET examination. In that process, already kinematics part 1 is explained in the form of video, kinematics part 1. Those who missed it, the link is giving in the description. You can watch it once again. And now we are going to discuss kinematics part 2, that is motion in a plane and vectors. This I am going to explain today. And this is another very important lesson, and in this one you can have nearly 3 to 4 pages, and in the first part is totally vectors given, and you are all familiar. If you read some points only, you will understand. So such points I am not explaining here because I want to save your time. Then you note down all these formulae. Somebody are asking me, sir, why don't you upload PDF? So students, I advise you, please write down once on the paper each and every formula of this with your pen. Then you will remember that for more time, and it will be very useful to you in the exam. And simply if I keep the paper, and if you download the paper, if you are reading by hearting, means you won't understand. So better you write down all these on your paper once with pen, then it will be very useful. That's the reason why I am explaining like this. Now straight away, the first point is very simple. About vector only it is giving, you are all familiar. Magnitude of vector, direction of vector and all those. But the second point is very important. If two vectors are given, P vector and Q vector, then to find out the resultant, we will use this one. Say this is vector P, say this is vector Q, and theta is angle between them. Then to find out the resultant R, we will use this particular formula. R is equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This will be called as parallelogram law of vectors. In this one, P and Q are two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. Anyhow, so to find out the resultant vector's angle with P, this is alpha. This is resultant vector and this is P vector, and alpha is angle between the resultant vector and P vector. To find out that, this formula will help us. This formula will help us. Okay, so this will be the second one, means the angle made by the Q vector will be resultant is this one. Anyhow, if you remember one formula, that is enough. Then the third one is very simple. You can read and understand. Fourth one is also Polygon Law of Vectors. So I am keeping to note down. So just note down that if a number of vectors are represented by the sides of a polygon taken in the same order, then the resultant is represented by the closing side of polygon taken in the reverse order. So mostly questions will not be asked on this. That's why I am not explaining much, but definitely if you remember those formulae, it will be helpful to you. Then the fifth one is very important. If I, J, K are unit vectors along x, y and z axis, any vector in 3-dimensional space can be expressed as A bar is equal to Ax I cap plus Ay j cap plus Az k cap. Then Ax, Ay, Az are the components of A bar and B bar, of components of A bar. And now A bar is a body diagonal of the cube. Oh, this all the information not required, but you remember that one. Then if you go to alpha, sixth point, alpha, beta, gamma are angles made by A bar with x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. Then cos alpha is equal to Ax, a component of A along x-axis is Ax. So Ax by A, then cos beta is Ay by A, cos gamma is Az by A. So Ax, Ay, Az will make different angles with A those angles are alpha, beta, gamma, then we can find cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma with this formula. With this formula, 100% you can find out the given asking value. Then cos square alpha, cos square beta, cos square gamma is equal to 1. This is also another very important relation. Remember. Then here sin square alpha plus sin square beta plus sin square gamma is equal to 2. This is also from the above equation only, because cos square alpha is nothing but 1 minus sin square alpha. If you substitute and simplify, you will get this. But at this stage, I am not going to give you detailed explanation. Remember that formula and given values substitute in that and you find out the required one. So now here you can say, if cos alpha is equal to m this one, cos beta is equal to m this one, cos gamma is equal to n this one. If you substitute all this in this formula, you will be getting L square plus m square plus n square is equal to 1. So this is another very important one. Then after that, eighth one is also very important. Two vectors are given here. A is equal to ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap. Similarly, B vector is given. Given that these two are parallel. This is very important sentence. Parallel. If these two are parallel, remember the ratio of their components are equal. Ax by bx means this ax, this is bx. So ratio of those two is equal to ay by by is equal to az by bz. Out of this, he will give some values and he will ask the, out of 6 he will give 5 values and he will ask about the 6th one. Easily you can find out. Then Lamy's theorem is another very important one. So look at that Lamy's theorem here. So in this one, you can say this is vector p, this is vector q, this is vector r. Then alpha is angle opposite to p and beta is angle opposite to q, gamma is angle opposite to r. Then the relation p by sin alpha is equal to q by sin beta is equal to r by sin gamma. Here the condition is all these forces keeping the point, this point, the center point, if they are keeping in equilibrium, then you can use this relation which is called Lamy's theorem, and you have number of questions on this Lamy's theorem. That's why in this much of detailedly I explained this, remember that. Then if you go to 12th question, another very important question. Here this one, a body is suspended by a string from a rigid support. So you can see this one about he is discussing about this string. So then you can see here. So then the body is pulled to a side. You can see here the body is pulled to a side like this. So with a horizontal force F, you can see here. Here mg is acting vertically downwards, and you can resolve that into components. And if you find out that directly to find out the horizontal force, this formula will be very helpful to you, mg tan theta. And similarly, if tension in the string is asking, mg cos theta. Similarly, you can use to find out the tension this formula and this relation. These 4 formulae are very important in this particular case. So guys, remember this formula, this diagram you remember, and everything you can easily understand. Nothing, because already you learned this from your teacher, just I am giving brief description of that. So then another very important concept is, just for your writing purpose I am keeping once again. You can keep this video pause and you can note down that question along with the diagram and remember all these 4 formulae. Surely it will help you in the final exam. Then another very important concept, this also you can keep in pause and you can note down. Motion of a boat crossing the river in shortest time. This in 2 cases we will discuss. One is the shortest time. Remember here it is given. One you can remember, this will be shortest time, and another one is shortest distance. These 2 are also important. This is shortest distance, and you can see here, this is the above one is the shortest time. Now first we will discuss about the shortest time case. The shortest time means you can see here, if VB bar and VR bar are the velocities of a boat and river flow respectively, velocity of boat and velocity of river. In the diagram it is mentioned very clearly, no need to confuse, this is VR, this is VB, so clearly given, so you can see that. And here, so he want to cross in the shortest time. Shortest time means he has to row the boat like this across perpendicular to the flow of the river. So you can see that one here very clearly, no need to confuse, river is flowing like this here, so exactly perpendicular to the river flow, river is flowing like this, so exactly perpendicular he has to go like that. That's why it is given velocity of boat is here. Then velocity of river is given here. Then you know well, just we have learned if this is one vector, this is one other vector, and you know this is one vector. So this is one vector, that is velocity of the boat. Then this is another one, velocity of the river. Then you know the resultant will act like this. So to find out that one resultant, this formula will help you. This is important formula to find out magnitude of the resultant velocity. V is equal to under root of VB square plus VR square. Remember guys, what we are using here, the second formula we found no there, resultant vector formula in this lesson. That formula only, R is equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Here we are using the same here. So VB and VR both are perpendicular to each other, because I have shown in the diagram earlier, VB is up, VR is horizontal, so both are 90 degrees, that's why. Similarly, the other formula you can say, the direction of the resultant theta is equal to tan inverse VR by VB. Tan theta is opposite by hypotenuse, so that can be found easily. From there you will be getting theta is equal to tan inverse VR by VB. Similarly, magnitude of the resultant velocity I told, then time taken to cross the river is equal to, very simple, this is the T is equal to you know well here it is given D by, so this one, T is equal to distance by velocity. Distance means distance between the two banks of the river, it is D. VB is boat exactly from this end to that end, so that's why we have taken D by VB. So to find out the time we can use this formula. Then D is the width of the river is given. So by using these formulae you can easily find out the required values. So total 5 formulae are given in the motion of a boat crossing the river in shortest time. Similarly, shortest distance is also given, but for your writing purpose I am keeping this for a while. So you can keep pause here and you can note down all these formulae. If you have any doubt, you can post your comment, then I'll explain once again that one. Then similarly it is given motion of a boat crossing a river in shortest distance. So that is shortest time, this is shortest distance. Here these 4 formulae are in this one. In this case, so he has to move like this. So the boat is this time is rowing like this. He is rowing like this. Earlier in the shortest time case he rowed the boat like that, but now he will row the boat like this, because if he row the boat like this, then what will happen here, the river will throw the boat like this, then finally he will reach here. So this will become the shortest distance. He is starting here, but because of the throwing of the river is throwing him, so the particular person will reach here. So this will be the shortest distance. That's why whenever this kind of question is asking, boat should not be rowed like this, this is wrong, boat should be rowed like this. That's the reason why VB is given like this. So there you can use these 4 formulae. And you just note down this, that's why I am keeping small time here. Then you can pause the video and you can note down. Then relative velocity concept is also very easy to you. Well, 2 bodies we are taking, A and B. If you want to find out, relative velocity of A with respect to B is given by VR bar is equal to VA bar minus VB bar, where VA bar is the velocity of A, VB bar is velocity of B. So you can use this formula even for the second case. Velocity of B with respect to A, both are given here. This is the first A with respect to B, then second one is B with respect to A. So simply he is reversing that. Then to find out the magnitude, so look at third point is given. VA bar minus VB bar and VB bar minus VA bar are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Then to find out the magnitude of the resultant velocity, we can use this particular formula. So this is another important relation you can keep here. Then the dot product, cross product are very simple. You can remember because in your teachers also gave very good explanation in your notes. You can refer your notes. Here I am giving only important formula list. That's why I am not explaining detailedly. All these will help you. You can keep it pause and you can note down all these formulae 16 to 24. Then 25 also you can. And in this one, the very important formula here in my opinion is this one. The area of the triangle and area of the parallelogram, and very important this one also. These three formula are important. Then half A cross B. If A and B are adjacent sides of the triangle, then you have to find out the cross product of A and B. Then half of that one will give you the area of triangle. Only if you find the cross product of those two, that will give the area of the parallelogram. So these are very important three formulae, 26, 27, 28. Then 29 is unit vector parallel to C bar and normal to A and B is this one. This is also another important formula. So you can note down all these. Then this is a very important discussion when a body is projected with initial velocity u by making an angle theta with horizontal. Then these are all known to you. Your teachers gave very good explanation to you. If you refer your notes, all these you will get here. So all those formulae I have summarized and giving in the shortest form. Then note down all these formulae. You find out all the answers whatever they are asking. Then you can see here when a body is projected with initial velocity u making an angle theta with the horizontal like this. This is horizontal. So body is projecting like this. Then u is initial velocity and making an angle theta. Then u will be resolved into components u cos theta and u sin theta. Then in that case, then how these formulae will come, you can easily find out. And in this case, the maximum height you can find like this. So this total will be like this now. This will be the maximum height. This formula you can use to find out the maximum height. And this is initially you are projecting from here. Finally it is reaching the ground here. So this total time it is in the air only. Then how much time it takes to fly or to touch the ground, that will be called as time of flight. To find out that, this formula will help you, 2u sin theta by g. Then range means this one, the maximum horizontal distance we can call as a range. Then you can find out the range by using this formula. And maximum range will also be asked sometimes. So sin 2 theta becomes 1, then the range will be maximum. Sin 2 theta to become maximum 1 means what? Sin 2 theta must be equal to sin 90. Then 2 theta 90 means theta is equal to 45 degree. So these formulae, maximum height, time of flight, range, and tan theta is equal to 4 h max by r, and tan theta is equal to gt square by 2r. These are all very important formulae package. Remember guys, surely you will be getting the question in this package only. Then if you remember this, then it will be very useful to you. This all formulae will help you a lot. So use of this and get the good box. Then at the maximum height, another very good package, this one. At the maximum height means here at maximum height. Then kinetic energy is equal to half mu square cos square theta, because here the vertical component of the velocity becomes 0, only horizontal component will be left, it is u cos theta. Then potential energy is nothing but general formula mgh, then mgh max, but h max is already you found h max, u square sin square theta by 2g, then that g gets cancelled. Derivations you can take from your notebook. So these are all very important formulae you remember in case of projectile. Then velocity after time t, these are all the important package of this one, velocity. All these are given by your teacher in your notes. I am just helping you to conclude all those and given in a single page. So all these formulae you note down, keep in pause and note down every formula you can understand. Even equation of trajectory at a place I have given, y is equal to tan theta into x minus half g into x square by u square cos square theta. Then this is all your teachers have given very detailedly. So you can note down all these formulae, and surely from this particular formula list you will be getting good number of questions in assignments, or in the final NEET examination also you will be getting some questions here. So you keep all note down all these and read many times, you will be getting the answers for this. Then horizontal projection, this is from certain height body is projecting like this. So in this case also all the formulae are given here. It reaches the ground tracing a parabolic path. It is time of descent, its time of descent is under root 2h by g. Then during its journey it suffers a horizontal displacement of u under root 2h by g. So all these formulae are given in your material or in your notes. Then you remember all those. But what are in this? For example, if the question is given like that, say time of descent is root 2h by g. What is h? From what height it is throwing horizontally, that is h. G is known to you. Question will be asked, find the time of descent. Then directly you can substitute those two values and you can find out the time of descent. Then horizontal displacement asked. This is also called range. Remember, range, many times this question asked in the previous competitive examinations. Range of horizontal projectile is distance into time. Distance is equal to velocity into time. So velocity is only u, horizontal velocity, then under root 2h by g is time. So multiply those, you will be getting like that. So all these formulae you can understand for the horizontal projectile case. Then you go to next, another important concept. From certain height, if two bodies are projected horizontally with velocities u1 and u2 in opposite directions, then time after which means I will explain you this in like this here. One body is throwing like this, another body is throwing like this. So u1 u2 are two velocities. u1 will be like this, say for example u2 will be like this. So in this case, time after which velocity vectors are perpendicular, very very important. Time after which velocity vectors are perpendicular, root u1 u2 by g dar. See, don't worry about the derivation at this stage, because I am explaining only for the students who are going to write the NEET examination very soon, and this is only revising the formulae. I am not giving you the teaching explanation. So remember, if this concept is given like the two bodies are projected horizontally with u1 u2 in the question, if you find this sentence, then he will ask find out the time. Then happily you can find out t is equal to root u1 u2 by g, and second one is time displacement vector is given, but velocity vector in the first point, displacement vector in the second point. Then distance between two body when velocity vectors are perpendicular is given. Horizontal distance between these four formulae are directly will ask you. only u1 u2 will be given, no other parameter in this. You can see in all 4 formulae except u1 u2 no other parameter is there. G is known to us, u1 u2 he will only give. Now you just see velocity vectors are perpendicular means this one, displacement vectors are perpendicular means this one, then distance between two bodies when velocity vectors are perpendicular means this one, horizontal distance between when two displacement vectors are perpendicular means this one. So if you underline these words and if you practice that, u1 u2 will be given, G is known, very simple, direct you substitute in the formula. So this if you write on paper 3-4 times, then only you can remember. So simply if you by heart, you cannot remember. So you keep this in your mind, and with this total explanation part I have completed. I hope you understood also this one, and you keep all these by keeping pause. You can remember all, you can write down all these formulae and get the advantage of this one. I hope everyone understood this, and practice well, Nanna. This will help you a lot in the final NEET examination. I hope you are all taking these formulae and practicing them well, and use this in solving questions also. Simply don't write on your paper and don't do puja every day. You read all these formulae daily. So many days are there. Still 1 month is there. Still 1 month is there. So you practice all these formulae in solving some problems, then you will be getting the confidence. So let's meet in our next lesson, in the third lesson. So till that time, all the best to you. Practice this well. Good luck. Have a nice time.